It is Ryan Cameron Uncensored, and she's in the building. He's in the building. It's a building.
It's a building?
It's a building of buildings.
We in it.
Monique, Tone X was good.
One time.
What's
Hey,
good? Hey. Uptown Comedy Corner, Friday, 7:30 and 10:30, Saturday, 7 and 10. You know, going back to Comedy Act Theater. Shout out to Michael Williams.
Yes.
Shout out to Gary.
Yes.
Sitting in the back, watching you go up, waiting to go up. That's how long I've been a fan. I don't think I've ever told you that.
Ryan, we go back. It's been over 30 years.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Amazing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the happiest,
Yes.
what are you today?
A 12.
Good. God.
Nice. Nice.
Come
Tell
on.
him.
You see him sitting back there.
Tell him.
Hey, and he just put a little, say just put a little, like a little grin there. Hey, y'all know what it is. Yeah, he like Jermaine Dupri. Y'all know what this is.
Come on now.
I want to say this first of all. I'm a horror genre fan.
Yes.
When we had Andre and Lee in, they said you the first person we done had an interview with that really liked the genre.
Mm-hmm.
You did your thing.
Thank you, baby.
I forgot how much I missed you.
Wow.
I forgot how much I missed you.
Yeah, it was a good time.
The Deliverance.
Yes.
Scared all the black people.
You know,
They started talking about.
I didn't think it was a horror film. I think it was a film, though, that made us question.
Right.
Especially us as black people.
Mm-hmm.
It made us question that because of all the things we've been taught.
Mm-hmm.
So now I understand that we're not the only ones here.
Right.
It makes you think, it opens you up to think differently. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what the Deliverance did for quite a few people. It opened you up to think differently.
I mean Halloween, Friday the 13th, all of them.
We know that's fake.
That's fake, but this one right here.
Yes.
And I don't want to give it away, but when he got up out that bed and backed up on that ceiling.
You saw him.
Her face, though. Her face in that movie. That was real.
Now, this is what I absolutely appreciate and enjoy. So, one of my best girlfriends, right, she had a party at her house, and they all watched the
party,
film.
okay, yeah.
So she said, Mo, I can't believe you didn't leave out that room when that little boy climbed up that wall. Why didn't you leave out the room? I said, because it wasn't Mo. Her name is Cynthia.
Right.
She was like, oh, okay, because I was like, my girl would have left out that room and cussed that little boy out. I said, you wasn't watching Monique. You was watching Cynthia.
Okay.
And that's what makes the difference. It's
Yeah.
like, guys, it's not Monique. Had Monique been in that room,
What would have happened, Mo?
oh, baby,
What
get
would've
your
happened?
ass down off that wall. Get down right now. You up here climbing up these damn walls, got these white people scared. Get down. Yes, if Monique was in the room.
Yeah. Somebody taught
But
you
Monique
better.
wasn't. You know it. Yeah, but Monique wasn't there.
Tone, man, how long you been at this, bro?
Man, 30 years.
You sure? I think it might be a little
It
longer.
might be a
than
little
that.
longer.
A little
Listen,
longer than that.
my introduction to comedy in Atlanta was you.
Tell me about it.
Wasn't it 112?
Yeah. Apollo night, and we always had a feature.
And everybody, and you heard the stories. The stories traveled. So it was like, Tone, man, you going down to Atlanta, what you doing? I'm doing 112. Ryan Cameron hosts, and they just look at you like, good luck. And I'm like, well, damn, it can't be that. Like, it can't. Man, listen.
Yes.
If it wasn't for Ryan, I wouldn't have understood what was going on in 112.
Yeah.
Like, for the traditional comedian, that's not where you want to start off your comedy kicks. That's something you want to come around to.
Right.
But chopping it up with Ryan, seeing what Ryan do, that's when the relationship started all the way from there, Ryan, at 112.
Yeah.
You were the first person that I did a show with in Atlanta. 2, remember when we got the call and you say, yo, Chris want to fly us up to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And remember we was on a private jet.
That's right. Chris
ordering chicken wings.
Yeah.
Remember? So me and Ryan go back like fat crayons
How
and
beautiful.
car seats, man. And I couldn't fat crayons and car seats, and I couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you, bro.
You the voice of Atlanta. I'm the voice of Charlotte. But I watch you,
Yeah.
and I see how you keep ascending up that ladder, just using them natural gifts, man.
Thank you,
So
bro.
I salute you right here in front of you.
I
Couldn't be more
appreciate you,
proud
bro.
of you,
I
man.
appreciate that.
You know what I mean? It just feel good. I told you, Yolanda, I was big. You saw you saw he put his number in my phone. I'm a big deal. I got Ryan Cameron number. I'm a big deal, baby.
We got more when we come back. It's Ryan Cameron Uncensored. It is Ryan Cameron Uncensored talking to Tone X and Monique
Yep.
about just comedy in general.
Yes.
Let me just say this. When you left those tickets for me
Yes.
for your special, I didn't know what to expect, but I had myself a damn good time.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I had a good time. And let me say, your hair was herring.
Man.
She right there.
That's her.
She right
Man.
there.
That when you start doing the schoolmate and
Elizabeth.
oh,
Yes.
I said, whoa.
Now let me tell you
That
something.
thing was bouncing and behaving though.
Just about that one part, okay?
Yeah.
So it was a helmet, right? And the helmet wasn't pinned
Yes,
down,
yes, it was.
right?
Right.
At all. It was 2 bobby pins in that hair. So when Elizabeth took over,
Yeah.
Tommy was backstage saying, "Shut it down, stop it, because it's getting ready to come off.
Right.
Her hair is getting ready to fall off at any minute." I said, "No, Elizabeth had her shine."
Right.
And then when it was over, she went right back in place. Come on now. Come on now.
That hair was herring.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, ooh. I'm having a flashback. No, Tom, when we don't have hair no more.
Right.
You see Ray trying to grow his back.
I see what you're doing over there.
Yeah.
Listen, I got the brush, I've got the hair products, and pretty soon I'm getting me a do-rag, and it's on for Thanksgiving.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Make it last.
Yeah, it's actually a bet. You know, Ryan bet me that I could not...
Why would you have to bring all that up?
Because you brought it up, that I could not keep the hair. It's not the fact of growing it; it's the fact of keeping it because it will get on my nerves.
The maintenance.
But I have embraced it.
I see what you're doing.
That's what happened when
I see what you're doing.
mature.
Good job,
Yes,
buddy.
thank you.
Way to embrace it.
Thank you.
Because the older you get,
So you and I talked earlier, and first of all, you're the only person around here that can call me Big Ray Ray.
Yes.
You've been the only person. Thank you. You and I talked earlier, and I said I admire your growth and being able to put things on the altar, because there was one point that you and Lee Daniels was not laughing at the same jokes.
Yes.
And for this to happen, was this on your spirit? Was there something saying, Mo, you got to just let these things go in order to go further? How did this come about?
Well, I never let it go. I never let it go. And what happened was my friend also grew up. And my friend said, "You know what? I need to apologize to you." Though it took some time, it took over a decade. But the one thing I knew was Lee Daniels' heart. Is he crazy? Yes, as a bedbug. But his heart was pure. So I knew if I kept talking, he was going to hear me. And Lee Daniels is surrounded by some good people in his family that stayed on him and said, "You got to fix it." For me, once you take accountability, we can keep moving.
Right.
We can keep going. You know, I've been that person that have been out of order and out of my mind and showing off. And someone had to forgive me. So it's my turn to say, when someone says, "I'm sorry," then the universe says, "What are you going to do with that?" Because when you had to apologize, I was given grace. So it was up to me to say, let me give that same grace. Right. And once we got through that, to step on that set, it was as if Lee and I had never been apart. It was as if we had never been apart. And I think that's true friendship. Well, you might go through some things. You may not speak for a minute. But if the friendship is true, it's going to come back together. But I never let it go.
Right.
So I don't want people to think for 1 second, I still ain't let it go, Tyler. Oprah,
Okay,
I ain't let it go.
we got more. We come back. It's Ryan Kevin Uncensored. It is Ryan Kevin Uncensored.
Let it go.
We got Tonex and Monique here, and we just went to break. And you mentioned them in your sets about Tyler and, Oprah.
Yes.
You want to make sure that the narrative stays out there.
It has to.
Okay. Tell me why that's so important.
You know why it has
for
to?
you.
Because there's some babies coming behind us. And for me, you've got to keep on facing that bully. You've got to keep on calling that name. You've got to keep on saying it. Because as I called Lee Daniels' name for years, eventually Lee Daniels came around. Now, do I believe Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey are bad people? No, I don't think they're bad people. I just think they need to own what they need to own. They need to take accountability and responsibility, and that's it.
When you see you say something and it goes out there and it's, it's Monique being Monique, and then another actress says the exact same thing and gets traction when you talked about the equal pay thing. How does that make you say, but I'm the one who told y'all this 2 years ago?
I'm going to just tell y'all a brief story.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Claudette Colvin?
Oh, help school me.
Okay. You've heard of Rosa Parks.
Of course.
Claudette Colvin got put off of that bus 3 weeks before Rosa Parks. Claudette Colvin made a whole lot of noise, but because Claudette Colvin was dark-skinned and nappy hair, she was not heard. So 3 weeks later, here comes Rosa Parks. And now because Rosa Parks took the position of, I'll just be quiet, I'll be meek, I won't make noise, I'll let them come and remove me. Well, everybody's not going to do that. But because Rosa Parks was the better fit,
Right.
it looked better. She was more acceptable to people. She was a light-skinned woman. She wasn't loud. She wasn't boisterous. So it was easier to say, let's pick Rosa Parks. Let me be clear. I love Taraji. This is not about Monique and Taraji,
Right.
but it's about Monique and Taraji. Because Monique is a fat black woman. So we didn't want to hear that. And not only was she a fat black woman, she's a strong fat black woman. And not only that, she was standing with a man. So I don't think that we were ready for all of that at one time. Who does Monique think she is to stand up here with her husband? Well, I'm not saying anything different than Taraji said.
Right.
But because of the way it looked, they wanted to go with what was easier and more comfortable, in my humble opinion.
Respectfully.
What's your thoughts on reparations? And I'm going to ask you this because I saw that
We need them.
you had the
We
flyer,
need- yes.
the National Reparations Summit that's going on in October in New Orleans.
Yes.
Is it really possible, though?
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. It just, I think oftentimes we've been so conditioned to say, you're not going to win. You're not going to get that. I don't even know why you're fighting for that. So we've been conditioned to back down and be quiet. I think if more of us stood up and spoke loudly, things could get done.
We got more when we come back. It's Ryan Cameron Uncensored. Why would you want to go back to the comedy club? You've got specials. You've got
Right.
TV. You've got Oscar. You got what? Why would you want to go back to a
There's no
smoky
residuals.
room of 300 people? What is wrong with you?
That is my first love.
Okay.
That comedy
Talk about
club,
it.
baby, is my first love. For us, and I can count on my hand how many black-owned and operated comedy clubs we have in this country.
Right.
So for me, going to the comedy club, it's like, y'all, we've got to keep these doors open.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to let the baby that nobody knows yet get the opportunity to come through these comedy clubs. Because there was a time, Ryan, though I played Atlanta,
Yeah.
Uptown Comedy Club,
Yes.
and we would sell it out. But nobody knew who Monique was other than in Atlanta.
Okay.
And those people came out. So that's why it's so important to me to keep going back to the comedy clubs, to say I appreciate it. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I was given,
Yeah.
being that first comedian, that first time comedian coming out, needing those stages.
Back in the room, just
so
getting a
for
shot.
me,
Yeah.
those comedy clubs, baby, and it's intimate for me. I can
Can't
look
get
you
no
right in your
better.
eyes. I can touch you.
That's
You
right.
can touch me.
Yeah.
So those comedy clubs, and I say to all of the quote-unquote big-name comedians, we've got to go back. We've got to give it back to make sure that new baby coming up that nobody knows right now,
Right.
but in 3 to 5 years, they're a big superstar.
Okay.
And you can say, I saw them at Uptown Comedy Club.
Back
the
then.
brother named Angelo and his family own that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep supporting him. That's how I feel.
Tone X, man, going back to your comedy roots, when you look at all of the people that are out there that are internet comedians who have now tried to go into stand-up, who is it that you say, okay, I see what they're trying to do? Because a lot of people, they get great in the reels and the
Exactly.
videos, but when you hit that stage,
It's different.
it's a different line of fire. Who do you
Man.
like?
I remember having conversations with cats. I remember talking to Carlos Miller in the parking lot over at Cat's Cafe, and I was like, listen, nephew, you keep doing what you're doing, you going to blow out the water. I remember talking to, this was way back in the day, when me and Lil Duval was in Florida, and I used to ask him, how do you go on stage with shorts? Because I can't wear no shorts on stage. I could never do that. But I said, if you keep doing, that's when he had that joke he did with Music Socha, and I was just like, it was something about him. I said, man, first of all, you going out there with shorts and braids, it must be a Duval thing. I said, but if you keep doing that,
Right.
man, you're going to blow out the frame. And I see these cats now. I talked to DC Young Fly.
Yeah.
DC Young Fly has a beautiful spirit.
True.
He has a good heart, and I got a story. I ain't going to tell how me and him really got cool. He needed something and didn't have it, and I had it. And so I made sure he had it. And Ryan, old school, delivered it to him in a room napkin.
Yes, I understand
You hear
that.
me?
I understand.
And me and him been rolling ever since. But it's a lot of the quote unquote internet comedians. I just call them. It's a new way to be known. But if you respect the craft,
Yes.
then the craft will respect you. It doesn't
Yes.
matter if you come up through internet,
Yeah.
fishing net, fishnet pantyhose. If you respect the craft, then the craft will respect you. So I respect all of those cats who really put in the work, not just trying to be overnight, because me and Monique tell you sometimes it takes 30 years to be an overnight sensation.
Come on, baby.
So
come on. You know what I think is missing, though?
What's that?
From comedy right now? I can remember being in my Ford Festiva.
Hey,
Going from,
I had an 89 Ford
come
Festiva.
on, baby.
89.
One part of this country to the other part of this country. Coming back and you in the red, but you got a chance to see people that you would never get a chance to see. I think that part is missing because that's what built you up.
Right.
It built you up going from city to city, state to state. I know that little box right there, millions of people can see you overnight in one swoop. However, it is nothing like being in front of the Klan.
Yeah.
The Klan, me and Earthquake. We had a show in front of the Klan, baby. We didn't know they was the Klan, and they didn't know we was black. Imagine that experience. It made us stronger. It made us tougher. I think that part is missing. I think the part is missing where you gonna fly me in?
Right.
Get your behind
The
in that car.
entitlement. The entitlement.
You know, so I just think that part of the comedy world is missing for us. You know, it was nothing like going to Columbia, South Carolina and being at Miss Max Club on that Army base. It was nothing like going to Secrets and being with Robbie. It was nothing like going to Chicago, at All Jokes Aside. It was nothing like going to Baltimore to Monique's.
Okay.
Like, those times were just so special because everybody was just in it working on their craft. Nobody was in it to say, I just need a TV show.
Right.
I just want to be famous. Everybody was in it because we were down home comedians.
loved it.
There you go.
Yeah.
We loved it.
We got more when we come back. It's Ryan Cameron Uncensored. It is Ryan Cameron Uncensored, Uptown Comedy Corner, Friday, 7:30 and 10:30, Saturday, 7 and 10. When these the new comedians, you know, they come out,
Yes.
I don't think people have told them, Tone X, Monique, that sometimes it doesn't go good every time. I think they believe, they don't know, you know, how did you handle the first time you say, oh, man, I've come out, I'm going to kill him, and it don't fly. I'm not saying you may necessarily bomb, but you have to rearrange your set sometimes because you had to, you know, I see you shaking your head. I'm going to let you go first, and I want to hear what Mo got to say. You remember
559.
5? Oh, my God.
Wow.
Bruce was hosting.
That was
And I went up in there with that Tone X, Islam, militant, these jokes about to fly, you black people don't understand. And they was like, get your ass off the stage. get off the stage. Them little young boys stood up, and I was like, oh, wait. And I was like, whoa. Well, then I said, nah, I'm going to keep going. Look, we don't want to hear that. Get your... I went back down there, and 4 months later, I went back. Got a standing O. Me and Sean Larkin talk about it to this day.
Yeah.
But you had to go through that.
Yeah.
So you could understand the beauty and that feeling of getting past that.
Yeah.
But boy, listen, that's my story. I tell everybody when they say,
was hell.
Man, listen. But the redemption was going back in the same spot, same environment, same cats.
Yeah.
Now you got it. Let's do it this way and see how that works. And you don't look back.
Come on, baby.
You don't look back.
Mo, have you ever had a tough set?
You know, I say this humbly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a tough set.
Yeah.
I remember doing Miami Nights.
Marvin Dixon,
baby. And Marvin Dixon would put the strippers up
before you.
Before the comedy show. I said, Marvin, no one wants to hear jokes after they done seen all of that.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I'm not going to do it.
Right.
You've got to put me up before the strippers.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, they wanted to see these strippers. So I go up, and it was a group of dope boys, right?
Okay.
They came to every show. They sitting over in the corner. Everything I say, they say. But they saying they being smart. So I'm like, listen, I don't do that. So I went into, I'm a grown woman. I don't do that. Well, the leader of the dope boys, okay? The leader.
Yeah.
The leader never says anything.
Okay.
The boss man never opens his mouth. After I said my name is Monique, that brother walked up to that stage and said, I want to apologize for my boys for doing that to you. And he kept counting out $100 bills, putting them in my hand. That was the toughest show I had, but walked out with the most money that night. I was like, thank you. Thank you. Then after me, he put up the strippers.
Yeah.
Then he put up Sherman Golden.
Yes.
I said, Marvin, Listen, they done been all on the floor. They done been doing positions and things. No one's going to laugh at this point right now.
Right.
And Sherman was like, I got to give him what I give him because we were professional.
Right. That's right.
So it didn't matter what went down. We still did what we had to do.
That's right.
But Marvin Dixon's room was one of the hardest rooms in this country because it was the strippers and the comedy. What you want to see?
Shout out to Sherman Golden, man. Shout out to Marvin Dixon. Anything you can tell us about that's coming up, that's in the can you give me a sneak peek? Anything that you know?
Yes.
Give me something now. Come
This
on.
is an exclusive.
Pull
I only give exclusive to Ryan Cameron, and this was done. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, I made the best chickpea and broccoli Chinese dish. Okay? Ryan, let me tell you something. Ryan. I want you to look at me. Okay? Let me tell you something. That was so good. And I was so proud of it, right? I was so proud of it. Now, my children, everybody eat meat in the house,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So I made spaghetti. I made some turkey spaghetti
Ryan is a yes,
with
ma'am.
that, right? And I was just going to have the chickpea and the broccoli Chinese situation,
Right.
But my boyfriend said, give me a little chickpea and a little spaghetti. And he mixed it together, and we came up with a whole new dish. Come
Okay.
on, baby.
What's it
Let's
called?
go.
What's it called?
Monique's.
I gotta go.
That's what it's called.
It is Ryan Cameron Uncensored.
I gave it to you, baby.
Monique, chickpea and broccoli.
I'm giving it to
A
you,
delicious
sisters.
broccoli.
If
A delicious broccoli.
you want to keep your man for as long as you can have him, you better start feeding them vegetables and chickpea.
Okay.
Because all that meat going to clog their system up.
Hey.
Okay, and it's going to make them have to take pills because everything ain't working right.
Uh-oh.
But if you give them chickpea,
What it
Chickpea
do?
make 'em stand up.
you don't need no medication. Give him that chickpea, baby. Gonna get him right.
Forget hymns.
Right.
Get some chickpeas.
You know what
And
the
some
P and
fruit.
chickpea stand for.
Give it to him, Tony.
Okay?
Come on,
The P and chickpea.
Meow. Come on. Yes. See, those are exclusives.
Yes.
Those are the ones.
I didn't know. I thought you was gonna tell me about a film or the war show. You came straight. You went straight for the jugular with the chickpea. I wasn't ready.
You're the only person I gave that
Thank
to,
you so
Ryan.
much. Get to all the shows. We got recipes and the P in recipe.
And what does the P stand for?
Pew, 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 pew.